In manifestation, you're supposed to think good thoughts, right? Well, what if you can't? What if you try to think positive, but you notice negative thoughts creeping back in? Now you're scared. You don't want your negative thoughts to manifest into bad things, so you try to think positive. Maybe you reframe the thought or repeat a positive affirmation, but it's not working. Instead, you feel worse because now you're fixated on getting rid of the negative thought. You're scared. It seems like you're doing everything right. You're being mindful, you're replacing bad thoughts with good ones, you're using affirmations, but somehow you just feel worse. If this sounds like you're not alone. In fact, most people experience this frustrating cycle when manifesting because that's what you're taught. All the coaches tell you to just think good thoughts and good things will happen, and that all the bad things are a direct result of your bad thoughts. But if trying to think positive isn't working, what can you do? Hi, I'm Coach Katie, and I teach manifestation using science and psychology. And in this video, I'm teaching a concept in psychology that I've never heard talked about in the manifestation community. It may sound simple, and it is, but you'll be surprised at how effective it is and how much better it works than reframing and affirmations. Stay tuned till the end because we're going to get to practice this skill together. Click my link for science-based courses, coaching, and meditations that actually work at manifest-best.com and subscribe for new videos every week. Now, on with the video. Imagine you just started dating somebody that you're really excited about. You want them to text you, but you don't want to text them first again this time because it feels like you're starting to chase them. And you know that that pushes people away. So you wait. But they haven't texted you all day. You're anxious. You're nervously checking your phone, and you realize that you're still chasing them energetically. You yell at yourself, saying, I'm not supposed to chase them with my thoughts either. I'm gonna ruin this. They're gonna leave. Why do I always do this? I have to think positive. I have to think positive. They like me. They like me. They like me. I'm worthy. I'm loved. I'm beautiful. Okay, I said my affirmations. Did they text me? You check. No new messages. You think, oh my God, I'm doing it again. I have to go distract myself. If I just stop thinking about them, then they'll text me and then I can feel good again. But they don't text you for the rest of the day. And now you feel rejected and scared. How rude of them to go all day without texting you. Aren't they even thinking about you? Why don't they like you as much as you like them? Why do all your relationships seem to feel like this? If you could just think positively about them for long enough, or think about them less, you would manifest their love and everything would be great. But it never seems to work like that for you because you just can't stop the negative thoughts and the energetic chasing. But that all changes now. What you're experiencing is called cognitive fusion. This is a psychological phenomenon where you get stuck or fused with your thoughts. You believe them as fact, which is why saying positive affirmations just makes the thoughts louder. But the truth is, very few things in life are objective. Most things in reality are subject to your own personal lens, and you can change that lens at any time. How? With cognitive diffusion, the skill of separating from your thoughts. You don't need to stop thinking negatively. I hate to break it to you, but you're going to have negative thoughts for the rest of your life. And fighting against them often makes them worse. So instead, I'm going to walk you through 10 techniques to simply observe your thoughts. Instead of believing everything you think, you'll learn how to choose to believe thoughts that are helpful and simply observe thoughts that are not. You don't have to get rid of negative thoughts anymore. What a relief! With this skill, you can get out of any sticky thought patterns and finally regain a sense of peace and control. So you can manifest everything you want faster and easier than ever before. And remember, these techniques may seem very simple, but they are highly effective and backed by science. So if you find yourself thinking, that's too easy, it won't work for me, that's just a negative thought that you can process using these techniques. Technique number 1, you are the observer. First, set a timer for 1 minute and become aware of your thoughts. Next, choose one thought that comes up most often or that bothers you the most. Now, put these words in front of that thought. I'm having a thought that. Notice the separation between you and the thought. You are the observer of the thought, not the thought itself. Continue to notice your thoughts and notice yourself noticing them. You've just practiced cognitive diffusion. You were able to look at your thoughts instead of looking through them. They are not you. They are not even objectively true. They are an experience that you can choose to pick up or put down. Technique number 2, choose your truth. This technique is an extension of the first one. As you diffuse from your thoughts and simply observe them, make the distinction between which thoughts are helpful and which ones are not. This should be fairly obvious. Thoughts that feel good to think are generally helpful, and vice versa. Remember, your job is not to choose thoughts that feel true. You're looking for thoughts that are helpful. For example, the thought, dating is hard, may feel true, but it's not helpful, nor is it objectively true. Dating can be easy and fun, even if that hasn't been your experience so far. A more helpful thought would be, dating is full of possibilities. This thought can be helpful because it implies that dating can be a good experience. But it doesn't feel like a total lie because you're not asked to believe that dating is always a walk in the park. As you go through your day, become mindful of your thoughts. Separate from them as an observer and choose which thoughts are helpful. Identify with helpful thoughts and choose to simply observe the unhelpful thoughts. You don't need to get rid of the bad thoughts. Your goal is simply to stop validating them as your truth. Technique number 3, thoughts as clouds. Now, we want to make this easy, so you don't have to classify every single thought as helpful or unhelpful. Sometimes the most helpful thing is to simply observe. This works best for people who can visualize images, but anyone can do it. Instead of classifying each and every thought or even putting the phrase, I'm having the thought that, before all of your thoughts, you can simply observe them. Imagine each thought is a cloud floating through the sky. Each thought, whether good or bad, helpful or unhelpful, is a puffy white cloud floating by high above you, in a bright blue sky. Notice the vast separation between you and the clouds. You are not the clouds. You are not your thoughts. You can simply watch them float by without reacting. There's no need to change or correct the clouds, and they will not stay put. They will always pass. No matter how good or bad your thoughts are, they will not stay stuck forever. They are constantly moving like clouds in the wind. There's no need to change them, make them better, or get rid of them. Simply let them be. This exercise is great for people who are constantly trying to fix their negative thoughts or work really hard for their manifestations. Technique number 4, name your thoughts. In manifestation, we tend to classify our thoughts in absolute terms. We refer to thoughts as good or bad, positive or negative. Even in cognitive diffusion, thoughts can be referred to as helpful or unhelpful. But for some, this classification can cause stress. Having good thoughts does not make you a good person, just as having bad thoughts does not make you bad. And bad thoughts cannot hurt you. Negative thoughts are a normal part of a healthy mind. But if labeling thoughts as bad, negative, or unhelpful causes you distress, try giving those thoughts a different name, like Bobbert, or Dingus, or the name of someone that you find annoying but harmless. Don't choose the name of someone you actually hate, because the point is not to label these thoughts as overtly negative. Choose a name that is more silly or slightly obnoxious. Then, when you experience unhelpful thoughts, tell yourself, that's just Bobbert again. This technique helps you to disregard thoughts that do not serve you. Technique number 5, make fun of the thought. Similar to technique number 4, this technique helps you to diminish the negativity you feel about unhelpful thoughts. When you experience unhelpful thoughts, repeat that thought back to yourself in a mocking way. Say it with a sense of sarcasm, roll your eyes, or make a silly face. Make a joke out of it. This helps you to observe the thought without getting stuck in negativity, and it diminishes any power that the thought could have over you. Technique number 6, celebrate negative thoughts. This technique may be controversial, but I swear it works. This is drawn from the book Existential Kink, which teaches that all negativity comes from a subconscious desire to experience the full spectrum of life. This philosophy is that we came to Earth to experience everything, the good and the bad, that a part of us has a thrill for pain, and that by consciously trying to avoid pain, we deepen that subconscious desire and begin to seek more uncomfortable experiences in sneakier ways. This makes negative thoughts louder and leads us to unpleasant experiences like self-sabotage and guilt. So instead of suppressing this masochistic side of us, this technique encourages you to lean into it. The next time you have a negative thought, celebrate it. For example, if you have the negative thought, I'm ugly, imagine a group of cheerleaders cheering, UGLY, you ain't got no alibi, you ugly. Yeah, yeah, you ugly. Woo! Imagine running your hands up and down your body, dancing seductively and saying, I'm ugly, I'm so freaking ugly, I'm the ugliest of them all. The idea behind this weird technique is that it allows you to indulge in your masochistic shadow. And that permission to indulge lessens your desire to experience pain through negative thought. It's also another way of mocking negative thinking because you're turning it into a type of celebration instead of trying to avoid discomfort. You're saying this negative thought can't hurt me. In fact, I welcome it. The negative thought becomes powerless over you and becomes quiet. Now, I will say this technique is not for everyone. If you suffer from severe mental health issues, this could potentially make you feel worse. So use your discretion and give it a try if you feel safe to do so. Technique number 7, sing it out. For this technique, choose one unhelpful thought and single out the most impactful word in that thought. For example, if your thought is, I'm unlovable, the most impactful word is unlovable. Now, turn that word, unlovable, into a repetitious song. See how many different ways you can sing the word unlovable. Sing it over and over again, especially in a silly way. Make your voice deep and high. Drag the word out and say it as quick as possible. Mix it up. Unlovable, 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 unlovable. The more that you say the word, the more that it begins to lose its meaning, until the word is nothing more than a sound. This is a fun way to detach from negative thoughts without turning them into an overly serious mission and trying to stop thinking negatively so that you can get your manifestation. Make it fun. Technique number 8, positive symbolic objects. So we've talked a lot about how to diminish the power of negative thought, but let's talk about how to increase the power of positive thoughts. As you're observing your thoughts, choose one that serves you. For example, you might think, I have great energy and I'm really kind. Now, choose an object to fuse with this positive thought. It could be something soft, like a blanket or a teddy bear. It could be a piece of clothing or a necklace that you can wear, or something small you can hold in your hand, like a little stone or even a cotton ball. Hold your object and think your positive thought. Imagine infusing your object with that thought. Then keep that object near you throughout the day so you can hold it and remember your positive intention whenever you need it. Notice that even though this thought is helpful, it's still separate from you. You have the choice to pick it up or put it down. It's not your identity. Technique number 9, negative symbolic objects. Technique number 9 is basically the opposite. Choose a thought that does not serve you and find an object to represent it. You could write the negative thought on a piece of paper, or crumple up some toilet paper, or even find a piece of garbage. Hold your object or simply look at it if it's too gross to touch. And imagine infusing the object with your negative thought. Notice that the thought is separate from you, just as the object is. Then dispose of the object. If it's a piece of paper, you can rip it or safely burn it. If it's toilet paper, you can flush it. If it's garbage, you can throw it away. I've even had some clients write their negative thoughts on a balloon and pop it. This is a physical act that reinforces the idea that you are not your thoughts and that thoughts that feel like trash are disposable. Technique number 10. This one is super simple, but oddly effective. When you find yourself in a negative thought spiral, you're going to shake yourself out of it by screaming your own name. This abrupt interruption wakes you up from ruminating on autopilot, and it reminds you that you are you. You are a person with thoughts, not the thoughts themselves. And you can snap out of your thoughts whenever you choose. Call you back to yourself, back into your body, back into the present moment. I hope you've enjoyed these 10 techniques. Give them a try and let me know which ones worked best for you. Be sure to subscribe for more helpful videos and click my link below at manifest-best.com for courses, coaching, and meditations that are backed by science to help you manifest faster and easier than ever before. I'll see you in the next video and happy manifesting!